Thanks for choosing the graphic track today. Now with graphics, you actually have more options than you would if you were making a video or a web page, simply because there are a lot of different shapes you can choose from. I'm going to go up to create a project, and I'm going to go to view all just to show you what our different options are. Like I mentioned before, Spark is preset to fit things to different social media. So if you want something to fit on Twitter or Facebook, on Instagram, or if you want to do something for print, like a business card or a flyer or a poster, there are options for those as well. You can also create your own custom size, and I'm going to show you that just to show you the limitations of Spark. So if I go to custom graphic size, I change it to inches. If I type in anything over 20, it will let me know that the maximum range is 20 inches. So I can make a poster that is 20 inches by 20 inches, but it won't go any larger than that. I'm going to go up here to popular, and I'm actually just going to choose the 11 by 17 poster for our work today. Okay, so now I have a nice blank canvas. You'll see this up here every now and then that it is automatically saving for me. You never have to click save if you lose internet connection or your computer dies or you lose power. Don't worry. This is automatically saved in the cloud attached to your account. You can also change the name of your post, and I'm going to recommend that here. I'm going to go ahead and type in star. Oops. Perfect. Okay. Now I can get started by using a template, which is what it has selected here as templates. So if you see something that you like, most of these are free and available for you to select from. Some of them are on premium, which means that they would be part of a paid subscription, but for the most part, everything here is free. But I want to start from scratch today, so I'm actually going to go down to where it says layout here on this right side menu, and this is where we'll be making all of our selections today, is in this right side menu. And from layout, I can choose how I want my canvas divided. So I might want 2 spaces or 3. And once I have them here, I can still shift around how they are proportioned. But I think for today, I think I like this one. I can add a border to these spaces if I want, and I can make it as large or non-existent as I want. I think I want to have a very light border here. Perfect. So now what can we do? I can change these background colors. If I go to where it has colors selected. What's nice about Spark is for someone with very little color sense like me, it has some pre-done color coordinated pieces that has colors that go together already set. So because I'm not great at choosing colors that go together, I find this really convenient. And I'm going to go ahead and select this one today. But I can always change all of these at any point. I can change them individually by clicking on these boxes. I can choose from other suggested colors within that palette that it's created, or I can choose any of these colors here. If I just want to make a slight adjustment, I can also go to this top box of the current color and click change color. And from there, I have a lot of options to adjust that color. But I don't want to. I think they did a good job, so I'm going to go ahead and click cancel. So what can we add to this poster now that we have kind of a shape layout? I'm going to go up to this add button, and this is where we'll be doing most of our selections here. I can add text, I can add photos, I can add icons or logos. Let's go ahead and start with text. So I can choose a template. I don't have to keep the text that's in the template. I can select whatever I want. Let's go ahead and try this one. I can double click on it to change the text. Click done. And that doesn't look great and I don't love it. So if I do something I don't like and I want to get rid of it, I can click on it. And up at the top, I have options to edit if I think I can make changes to make it better. I can duplicate it if I love it and I want more than one, or I can hit delete, and that's what I'm going to do here. So let's go back to that add text, and instead of using a template, I'm actually going to go ahead and just add my text, and we'll go from there. Click done. Okay. So I can change the shape by dragging the corners, and I can adjust the size. Now if I pick it up using this little hand from the center, I can center it up in that box. Beautiful. Now, when I have this selected, this menu over here on the right changes. When I deselect it, it goes back to options for changing that overall color scheme, changing the layout. But right now I want to make changes to this particular text box. So I can change the font by clicking different fonts. Yeah, let's go with something big and bold. I like that. I kind of want Lone Star on the same line, so I'm going to drag this over here a little bit, recenter, cool. I can change the alignment if I don't want that centered. I can also change the size here, which is great for making small little changes. I can change the letter spacing. I think I like how it is naturally. And I can also make it more or less transparent with the border. So you'll notice all of these are on sliders, which is part of why it's convenient to use in the phone app. That makes it really easy to do with a finger. It's also really easy to do with a mouse. Now I've got this border here and I could just make it completely transparent if I don't like it. But let's look at other options that we have with that shape border. So I'm actually going to go to where it says shape. We're going to come back to color in just a moment. But let's look at what some of our options are when it comes to the shape around our text. This is an easy way to just add a little bit of an accent to our text, give it a little bit of flair. And some of these do work better than others. And I think, you know what? I think I like that one. Let's go with it. And I can also change the padding. How thick do I want that star? I'm going to keep it pretty thin because I don't want it to take up too much of this box. And then I can also go over to effects and I can change the outline of the shape. I can make other changes. I can make it look cut out so that we get that full background color instead of that other light blue. I can add shadows to it. But I don't really like what these changes are doing to the rest of the colors here. So I'm actually going to go back and select none. But let's see about these color options. I don't necessarily love the brown, so I could always swap and make a blue diamond and a brown text. And I can swap those back and forth using the shuffle button. Or if I don't like these colors together, I can also go and see other suggested colors that fit within this color palette here. Oh no. And I can always shuffle them back and forth to see if I like it better with them swapped. Hmm. What do you guys think? You know what? Let's go with this. I think I like it. It looks good. These colors go well together. It looks like the background color is coming through to be on top of this diamond. Very cool. So that's how you use text. So let's go ahead and go up to our ad. So we've been through text. Let's go ahead and look at photos. So you can upload your own photo or you can find free photos. And I can search for Creative Commons photos. I'm going to go ahead and just look for college. And I'm going to go ahead and just select, let's do this one. So when I choose a photo, I can either just pin it to the background, which means it'll fit inside one of these boxes, or I can choose to have it move freely and I can put it wherever I want. In this case, let's go ahead and pin it to the background. And if it pins to the wrong place, if I don't like where it is, I can pick it up and move it. Now, unfortunately, that made me kind of have to recenter that, so that's okay. Here, we can stretch this a little bit so that diamond goes. Cool. So let's look at our picture. When we have it selected, we can scale it, which doesn't do us a whole lot of good here. We can rotate it, which also doesn't do us a whole lot of good here. Or I can replace it. If I get it in here and I just don't like how it looks, I can make changes. I can also flip it horizontally. I can flip it vertically. So if I want those chairs facing the other direction, I can do that. If I go here to filters, underneath image, I can change the filter that this graphic has. You know what? I think this matte color has a better tone with the rest of the colors that I have selected here. So I think I'm going to go with that. And that's about all of the options that we have when it comes to photos. So not as much as with the text, but still a lot you can do to customize it and make it your own. So let's go ahead and go back up to add. And this time let's go ahead and add an icon. So I'm going to search for a star, and it'll show me a lot of different star icons that I can use. Let's see. I think I want to go with this one that's here in the circle. I'm going to go ahead and move it up here. Make it fit in this box very nicely. So when I have it selected, I can change how transparent it is. I can flip it around, which just looks kind of silly on the horizontal. Vertical flips it over though. And then I can also change the color. So if I want it to match a little better with some of the other color options I have, or I can go down and select my own. Or if I go to that change color, I can drag this around to make something custom. Let's go with this lighter blue. I think that looks nicer. So now that I have my graphic the way that I want it, I want to be able to do something with it. If I want to upload it to my D2L, if I want to send it as part of an email, if I want to post it to social media, if I want to print it, I'm going to have to download it to my computer. Now it will always be saved in your Spark account, so you can always come back and make changes and do other stuff with it later on. But for you to be able to take it out of Spark, you need to download it. So I'm going to go ahead and go to download, and I can either download it as a PNG file for higher quality graphics, as a JPG file for a smaller file size, or as a PDF. All of these are great options. I'm going to go ahead and leave it as a PNG, and then I'm going to hit start download. So that's just about everything to making a graphic in Spark. Ours today turned out okay, but we mostly wanted to demo all of the wonderful tools that you can use. If you have questions, please let us know in the comments. We will absolutely respond to those or shoot us an email.
at nh-askalibrarian@lonestar.edu. Thanks for joining us today, and please join us again for more helpful tutorials.